Hi, in this tutorial I'm going to be teaching you how to set up your graphic design digital portfolio using InDesign. So the two main components you need to have completed before you begin the portfolio project are your logo. I'll show some examples here. Here's a logo complete and your logo sample page. So those are going to be your main components to start out your portfolio. Your logo is going to be your first cover page front and center on your portfolio. Then you'll also need to have a completed resume. So here are two examples of a completed resume. Again, I give you guys a lot of opportunity to choose your look and design and really personalize it so that it is fitting your design personality. So I'm going to show you how to just start the setup. The first thing you want to do is make sure you've got a folder with all the projects that you plan on putting into your portfolio. And then you're going to open up InDesign and you're setting up a new document to begin. Now, the intent is to print, but we're really saving it as a PDF, so that part is going to stay print, and you're going to uncheck facing pages. Now, the number of pages really depends on how many projects you're putting in your portfolio, so I'm going to guess 6, but I could always add or subtract pages once I'm in there. 8.5 by 11 is the best setup in my opinion. Some people do horizontal, but I would recommend just a very simple vertical 8.5 by 11 document. Now when you hit OK, you'll notice that you've got a whole bunch of pages in a row. If I show my workspace, I'm just going to reset my essentials here. You'll see that one of the sections up here under pages just kind of shows you all of those. This is where you would add or subtract a page. If I need more pages, I could click create new page, and that's how I would do my setup. I also would suggest, if you want to do something special on every page, for instance, if I decided my logo has some purple in it and I want to do a little purple bar across the top, or pink or something like this, I would have to set it up on a master. So what I'm doing right now is putting it on the first page. Notice it's on the first page. Now I'd have to repeat that every time if I do it this way. But if I want to use what's called a master page, I just go to the master, and if I set it up there and put those two bars on the top and on the bottom, make sure I was in the master when I did that. So let me go back a step. I wasn't quite in the master setup when I did that. So let me just delete those. Actually, I'll just copy those and then delete them and go to the master page. Now, if you notice, I put it on the master page, and every single page now in my document, if I go to my regular working document, every page has those elements. So that's one thing you might want to do, is set up some sort of repeating element on every single page, and that's completely optional. But it does help to kind of spice it up a little bit. Do remember you can look at your document in printed view or normal view and also preview mode. Okay, so the first page is your title page. So you're going to put your name. So I'd click and put your name and portfolio. Okay, so here's a basic font. You want to be consistent with your fonts. Remember that if your bounding box isn't big enough, it's going to ask you to expand the text box. Okay, so then the next thing we need to do is start placing the images on each page. So I am going to take the first one, which is the logo, open it up. I actually borrowed a logo from a student here, and put the logo right on the first page. And I'm going to continue this tutorial after I've completed this. Okay, so you'll notice when that logo comes in, it's awfully blurry. And that's okay, because what you need to do is go View and just change it to Screen or Display Performance High Quality Display. And that's it. So just to get you started, this is a way you can start your portfolio, get your name, set up a master page, and eventually we're going to start placing each image. This tutorial is to be continued, and I will be adding information as we add to the tutorial so that you can see how each page is going to become a page of your portfolio. I will show you a finished portfolio before we move on, just so you can get a feel for it. And that portfolio is going to include all of the pages. So I'm going to move through this quickly since it has student information, but notice when you export it as a PDF, you're going to see all of these pages. So starting with your logo, your resume, and then each page is going to be a project with a short description. Now notice the student added a little triple dot sort of feel to it and a small description of what she did for each project. So if I scrolled through this quickly, notice she has a project and a description, project and a description. So that's exactly what you're going to be doing to set up your portfolio, but you're working within InDesign. All right, so phase 1 of the tutorial, get your document started and begin by placing your logo and kind of setting up a design or master page if you're interested in having any repeating objects.